Ace. Ace. Open your eyes. Wake up, Ace.
Who the fuck put me in the tub?
Hello, Ace.
Oh, God! Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine, just... Who the fuck are you?
My name is Pixel. I'm an embodiment of gaming bliss and joy. I have been searching for you for quite some time.
Well, you could have easily have DM'd me on Twitter. Probably could have saved you a whole hell of a lot of time.
Yes, well, the reason I've been searching for you is my adversary, Lord Griefelderf, is regaining his power. He's the reason games like Bubsy, Dark, and Sonic 06 exist. Ace, you are the only one who can stop him.
I see. I got a question for you.
Yes?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Look, I need you to fight my demonic adversary for me, alright?
Why don't you do it? I mean, you're supposed to be this godlike spirit, aren't you? What the hell am I gonna do to a demon? Smack it with my baby hands?
Look, I've been looking for you for a long goddamn time and I just want to relax for a while. Besides, I got you something to help.
And what might that be?
Take the Joy-Cons from the tablet, and you'll see.
Now wait just a gosh darn second. Those weren't there before. But oh well, I just gotta grab, take the red water, take the red pill, the blue pill, just...
Oh my god.
Behold, the Switchblade and the Shield of Joy-Con. These are the only weapons that can take down Griefelderf and save all of gaming as we know it. You, Ace, are the hero we need. Please, find it in your heart to help not just me, but your fellow gamers and friends.
Okay, well, I got a question.
What?
What's in it for me? Do I get, like, a kiss from a princess?
No.
Not even a little one?
No.
How about a hug?
No!
Well, how about a cake? Can I at least get a cake?
Sure, why not?
Oh, yeah, awesome! Now what do I gotta do? Do I gotta slay a dragon? Do I gotta ride into battle, save the kingdom?
All you must do is review The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Are you alright?
That's it? I just have to review a game? That doesn't sound very fun. Well, then why do I even need these?
Are you gonna fight the Lord of Darkness with just your bare hands?
Fair point. Let's do this! The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the latest in the epic series of adventure games by Nintendo. It was first announced at E3 in 2014, showing off one hell of an epic trailer, and was originally slated for a 2015 release, but was eventually delayed to 2016, then was delayed yet again until March 3rd, 2017 as a launch title for the Nintendo Switch. That being said, Breath of the Wild was still released alongside its Switch counterpart for the now deceased Wii U. Nope, did that joke alright. Nope, in the trash you go. Upon its release, Breath of the Wild was met with a huge amount of praise from both critics and gamers alike, with many calling it a masterpiece as well as being one of the greatest games of all time. Wow, that's quite impressive, especially since the last game, was
I was bumbling, swinging the sword.
Are you alright?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just, reliving a nightmare.
Alrighty then. Yeah, impending doom coming, like, right now. Get a move on.
Alright.
Our story begins with Link waking up from a century-long slumber in a near-barren chamber. Upon further exploration of his confined quarters, Link picks up a Sheikah slate, which is just basically a glorified tablet with multiple functions, and proceeds into the wilds of Hyrule after scrounging for some clothes. Or you can go buck-ass naked, I don't care, it's your adventure. An ominous voice then informs Link that he is the hero to save all of Hyrule from its greatest foe, Calamity Ganon. After leaving his resting place, Link is then greeted by an old man who tells him he'll be more than happy to help him on his adventure, but only after Link visits these shrines scattered across the plateau. In return for the treasure hidden inside, the old man will give Link his paraglider to avoid dying a horrible death via falling like a dumbass. After visiting the shrines and collecting the treasure, Link discovers that the old man is none other than the deceased king of Hyrule. Holy shit, what a name. After revealing himself to Link, he then describes what happened over 100 years ago. The kingdom of Hyrule began preparations for the return of Ganon by building an army of ancient machines called Guardians, and these gargantuan machines called the Divine Beasts, to catch Ganon off guard and defeat him once again.
Now, is it just me, or do these things look like they belong in Power Rangers?
Unfortunately, Ganon immediately saw through this plan and ended up taking control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, which ended up in the utter annihilation of Hyrule Castle and its residents. In a last-ditch effort, Princess Zelda used her magic to seal Ganon and herself away within Hyrule Castle to prevent any more destruction to the rest of Hyrule. I will say that after 100 years she has done a fine job of keeping Ganon at bay, but with her power slowly waning, it's up to Link to take him down once and for all. Link was once a knight tasked with protecting Zelda along with 4 other chosen warriors from each respected race, but ended up sustaining injuries that nearly killed him and was then put in the recovery chamber to heal until Zelda called for aid. A side effect of being in stasis for over a century resulted in Link losing all memory of the events that had brought him up to this point. As one final request, the king asked Link to rescue his daughter and defeat Ganon once and for all. With his new paraglider in hand, Link finally descends from the plateau, and from there, it's ultimately up to you, the player, on how you want the rest of the story to play out.
This is where the game truly begins. You're able to explore Hyrule as you wish, but you're very much discouraged by the king to go face Ganon head on. Although it is absolutely possible for you to do so with just the bare necessities you find lying around, you're in for the fight of your life if you do, and for those of you who have faced Ganon head on right away, I salute you.
So that covers story, what's next?
Well, normally I try to transition into presentation, but I think I'm just gonna jump straight in.
So that's it then.
That's it?
You're not gonna be a little more creative?
Nope.
It just seems a little generic and honestly pretty lazy on your part.
Have you seen my upload schedule?
Point taken, moving on.
Oh boy, where do I even start? Breath of the Wild is hands down one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen in my life. I mean, just fucking look at this. From the moment you leave the cave to the epic final battle, Breath of the Wild just takes your breath away. With its gorgeous visuals and set pieces. There was never a dull moment while traveling Hyrule. I was always discovering something new, whether it be something as simple as a fruit, or as epic as a dragon. I love the direction Nintendo took with the graphical style. It looks like it combined Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and Wind Waker all into one beautiful, delicious dish of awesome. Character models look really nice as well. While most of the NPCs don't really stand out, they all have these wonderfully unique personalities. Some of my favorite designs have to be the Zora Prince Sidon, mostly because of that toothy grin. Is it possible to be attracted to a fish? And this game's representation of Zelda. She's cute, lovable, and really feel for her since the world's been thrown on her shoulders. Not to mention that booty though!
Bitch!
Focus, damn it!
While roaming the wilds, there really isn't much music to speak of. It tends to stick to more of an atmospheric tone with many natural sounds like wind and water. But when you do hear the music, it's absolutely beautiful. The accompanying wind instruments and piano really set the mood, making the landscape seem all the more picturesque. The beat picks up whenever there's danger nearby, becoming more fast-paced while keeping in tune with the more light-hearted nature of the game as a whole. Until the final showdown with Ganon, at least. Oh, it's so good.
Wow. From the sounds of it, this game seems absolutely perfect.
Well, not exactly. There are still quite a few annoying things that hinder my experience with Breath of the Wild ever so slightly.
There were a few moments on my adventure where the frame rate dipped pretty hard. Now, I will say most of the dips were very minor and the frame rate almost immediately jumped back to a smooth 60 FPS, but there were some areas of the game that just killed the frame rate. The Korok Forest is the best example of this. Almost every time I came back to visit the Deku Tree or trade in the many Korok Seeds, more on those later, the frame rate would stumble over its own heels. This would be fixed in a later update, but it was released after my initial playthrough. There was even a point where my game froze for a solid 30 seconds, which resulted in me on the floor crying like a little bitch.
So, is that the only gripe you have with this game?
Oh no, there's more that I think needs to be addressed. The voice acting, for example.
Oh, dude, there's voice acting in a Zelda game?
Yes, there's voice acting in a Zelda game.
At least in certain cutscenes. Throughout Link's journey, he will be able to run into certain story-relevant characters that provide short sequences of dialogue, which is one of the many things that break the regular Zelda formula. While this isn't the first time a Zelda game has included voice acting, get that shit out of my face, it is the first in the mainline series to include spoken dialogue, which is a nice addition, but I feel is poorly executed in some areas. Some of the voice actors sound like they were just pulled off the street and can be quite annoying. However, the biggest problem I have with the voice acting is actually with Link.
But Link doesn't say a single thing, so why is this an issue? He's always been the strong, silent type.
Well, yeah, I realize that, but the thing that really gets me is everyone refers to the player as Link, whereas in previous titles you could name Link whatever you wanted to, which put the player in Link's shoes. With everyone calling the hero Link, it takes that away. It also doesn't help that the in-game reason for Link being a mute is absolute crap. I'm really supposed to believe that Link's silent because he feels it's necessary to be strong and to silently bear any burden, when plenty of other characters have dealt with worse and are still quite vocal. Come on, Nintendo. I think it's definitely time to give Link a voice.
Wow, that's quite a statement there.
Well, you know, I just think that if you're going in a different direction, you should at least give your main character a voice. I honestly would have been totally fine with him just speaking a few words after Ganon was defeated.
Well, is there anything else that bothers you, perhaps with the gameplay?
Actually, I will admit I don't think there's much wrong with the gameplay.
Right off the bat, you're thrown into a massive open world, and as I stated before, you can do just about anything you want. Not since the first Legend of Zelda has Link been given so much freedom. This is also made apparent by Link's newfound ability to climb just about damn near any vertical surface. You can seriously get to some impressive heights if you know how to conserve your stamina. Reaching these heights gives the player more opportunities to discover something new or mark the next objective, which will most likely be a nearby tower or one of the many shrines located across Hyrule. With some exception of the first four, you can tackle any of them in any given order and face a different challenge each time, whether that challenge is a test of strength, moving objects with motion controls, or solving an intricate puzzle. These act as the game's dungeons, which contain valuable weapons and resources to aid you on your journey. Upon completing these dungeons, Link is given a spirit orb, which, after collecting 4 of them, can be used to purchase a heart or stamina container to give Link a better chance of surviving enemy encounters or climbing a steep hill. Or swimming. Can't fucking swim. It was kind of odd at first not having set dungeons to complete. I thought the Divine Beasts were going to fill the mantle, and yes, they sort of do, but it's the shrines that really pick up the slack in the regard, and holy shit, there are a lot of them. 120 to be exact, and yes, I did beat all of them. To solve some of these puzzles, you're given almost all of your abilities from the very start of the game. These include Magnesis, a giant magnet that can move just about any metal object with ease, Cryonis, which creates platforms of ice on any liquid surface, Stasis, which freezes objects in time and can be hit to launch objects across the screen, and Bombs, which blow shit up. You can also get a camera, which you can take selfies with. Oh yeah, work it, Link. Show me some sass. Oh, you're such a sassy bitch, aren't you? As previously stated, Link can find a wide array of weapons and resources while exploring Hyrule. Link can use just about anything as a weapon, whether it's a tree branch or a sword with elemental properties. I gotta say, it's kind of refreshing to use something other than a sword as a main weapon. Even using the shield to parry oncoming attacks is fun. Yeah! Take that, motherfucker! I will say that the limited inventory space for weapons kinda sucks. You can upgrade your inventory by finding the many Koroks hidden around Hyrule. Finding one will grant you a Korok seed, which acts as a sort of currency for Hetsu, an especially large Korok with an affinity for music. Giving him a certain amount of seeds will allow Link to add an additional slot to either the weapon, shield, or bow. The more you upgrade, the more seeds Hetsu will ask for, and there are a lot of Koroks scattered around Hyrule.
And for those of you who dare to find them all, Hetsu will proudly present you with a steaming pile of shit.
That's disgusting.
Aside from the weapons, Link can gather any and all resources he finds in the wild. I highly suggest taking the time to hunt wildlife when you can, as anything you forage can be used to cook various meals to help Link on his journey. You can also capture various types of insects and reptiles, then cook them with monster parts you find after defeating enemies to make potions that give Link temporary stat boosts. You can cook up to just about anything and everything, and almost all of them help Link on his journey, and it's so satisfying to hear that jingle. I think Gordon Ramsay would be proud.
What are you?
Ramsay's approval aside, cooking meals and crafting potions is a necessity. Why? Because this game will kick your ass if you're not prepared. Enemies are just as strong, if not stronger than Link, with only a few exceptions. Even something as tame as a bokoblin can overpower and defeat you if you make one simple mistake. Most of the enemies are standard Zelda fare like moblins, Lizalfos, Keys, etc. There are new additions like the Living Rock Titan, Stone Talus, and the return of the Lynels, centaur-like beings with the ability to wreck your shit harder than a colonoscopy. These assholes are an absolute nightmare if you are unlucky enough to stumble across one. They're fast, tough, and so damn strong. I seriously think I had an easier time fighting Ganon, but through time and a little bit of preparation, I was able to defeat any enemy that came my way. Whether it was firing from a distance, using the new Flurry Rush, or using the environment to my advantage. Oh, that's so satisfying.
Unfortunately, Breath of the Wild's combat suffers from one single flaw. Weapons break too damn often.
Now, I should clarify that this isn't really a huge issue, at least to me, but I will admit that with how often it happens, it can get annoying. I mean, sure, weapons wear over time and eventually break, but that kind of takes away from combat. Half the time I found myself outright avoiding enemies because I didn't want to risk losing any of my gear. Even the Master Sword has limits. Now, granted, it doesn't break, instead of runs out of energy and takes about 10 minutes to recharge, but come on, this is the Sword of Evil's Bane! Let me cut some motherfuckers up! I think it's only fair since it nearly kills Link when he finally finds it.
As I said, it's not really that big of an issue. As I progressed through the game, I learned how to manage my resources better, and eventually I was throwing out more weapons than I honestly needed. Breath of the Wild is still a fun time, even with its small annoyances. I honestly don't think I need to explain myself any further. The game is damn near perfect on almost every level, and it really stands out as one of the greatest games of all time.
So that's it? No long-winded explanation about how great it is or summarization of what you've covered?
Well, no, I don't think I need to explain any more than I already have about how amazing Breath of the Wild is, and I think a good portion of the internet will agree with me on that one. Plus, there's been DLC released at the time of this video, and even more to come. So that's why I'm proud to present The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild with What the hell's going on?
We're too late. Griefeldirf's awoken. He's going to destroy everything, Ace.
Oh shit! I thought I had more time. How long was I playing?
Since March.
Since March?
Well, you looked like you were having fun and I didn't want to disturb you.
What the fuck? We were on a time limit! God damn it!
Well, excuse me, princess.
Fuck you.
Ace, he's here!
Is he okay?
Never mind that. You need to stop him now.
You sure he's a threat? He's just wiggling around wildly like a fucking worm.
Ace!
Look, I'm just saying maybe he's just not all that. Okay, there's threatening. Alright, bitch. Time to die. Ah!
Oh, shit. The batteries must have died.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they are controllers after all.
I'm gonna die because of you!
Did you really think you could defeat me? Your power, Griffith.
Ace, the switch! Put the Joy-Cons in the switch! Oh, thank God you're okay.
I hurt in places I didn't even know could hurt.
Yeah, that's kind of the side effects of being mercilessly zapped with magic lightning.
Well, I guess we did old Griefle in now, didn't we?
Oh no, you can't kill him.
What?
He can only be turned into a pastry that you've been subconsciously thinking about.
I give Breath of the Wild a platinum star.
Oh man, you know what? This is pretty damn good.
I'm eating a demon. Hey, thanks for watching to the very end of the video. If you liked what you saw, then why not hit that like button? And if you're brand new, then feel free to subscribe for more future reviews. Thank you all once again for watching, and I'll see you next time.